All right, it's week 3, all about MVPs. And like I said before, I was a bit scared to start because I haven't built in such a long time, but I'm excited to finally get my hands dirty.
All right, it's day 1, week 3, time to build the MVP.
Okay, so it's actually day 6 and I was supposed to have an MVP build or something built by today. But I found out that I'm actually not that good at coding anymore, even though AI tooling is phenomenal right now. So I've built the product spec, I've got somewhat of a wireframe, and right now I am figuring out the tech stack, and I actually have to spend the weekend working on my skills a little bit more because I've become rusty. And I started to realize I actually haven't spoken about the product itself. And so I pivoted into something that excites me and solves a very specific problem for me. But a while ago, I tweeted that I did this experiment where I made $100 a day on Scroll. I'll quickly run through it, but I'll make sure to leave resources down below so you guys can check what these strategies exactly are. So what I usually do is provide collateral on Aave, USDC stablecoins, which usually gives me around 9 to 12%. But by doing something called looping, what I can do is borrow ETH against my USDC, go to a DEX, swap it for USDC, and provide it back as collateral. The interest I have to pay over my ETH is much lower than the yield I get on my USDC. So this is a very basic method of cranking up the yield. The second thing I do is I keep track of the ETH price. So let's say I borrowed ETH, swapped it for 3K, ETH drops in price to, let's say, $2,900, then I repay my debt and I make $100. This is basically the very simple but manual process that I did to make that $100 a day. Now, some days I make more, some days I make less. This is a steady and savvy way for me to make money. It's a very manual process, and with the right user interface, I can make sure that this whole experience is much less manual. The cool thing is, I don't have to build smart contracts. I'm utilizing audited and battle-tested smart contracts like Aave. And because smart contracts are permissionless on-chain, I can just interact with them. So this week, I scoped out the product. I made sure to focus on a few features with a workable flow, and I want to bring it out there. Because as part of last week, Build in Public, I already started to tweet about this idea, and people reached out, from friends to users I've never actually met, and they got excited about this idea. And I even jumped on a couple of calls explaining to people what I was doing. And so this was very exciting, and I think I found my first 5 users. So this week was all about gathering the AI tools, making sure I had like a workable product. It doesn't look good at all because design and making it aesthetically pleasing is all for next week. One thing I haven't actually spoken about is why I'm building on Scroll. Now, obviously I'm biased, as you guys know, I'm part of the Scroll team, but why I'm utilizing Scroll is because I know the tech is solid. It utilizes ZK for security, and we've been working hard on making sure that the gas fees are very low. But we're not gonna stop here. We're gonna make sure that we keep upgrading the chain. We've got sub-cent transaction coming, 1K TPS, and after that 10K TPS. And I'm very, very bullish on where the tech is going. Scroll has always been known to build the best tech. We won't sponsor fancy parties, and it's in our DNA to build impactful products. And so for me, it was only natural that I would pick Scroll where I want to build. Again, obviously I'm biased, but I believe in Scroll and I believe in the product. So I'm excited for you guys to try out this product. I'm going to make sure I deploy it. Right now, as of this recording, I haven't deployed it yet, but I'm going to make sure it's out there and make sure that I get to my first 5 users that already have been in touch with me. But I'm also excited about what you guys are building. So make sure you tag me, make sure you tag the team, Sandy, Emily, and ask us for feedback if you have any questions. This week was all about building the MVP. Next week is about design. I'm very happy I started to build, and I'm very excited to see what you guys are building.